Okay, so Silent Hill F came out not too long ago, and in this video I'm just gonna be reviewing the game and sharing my thoughts on it. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So if you don't know what Silent Hill F is, it is the newest installment in the Silent Hill franchise, which thank God for that. Like, we had the remake of the second game last year, but we haven't had a new Silent Hill game in like ages. As long as you don't count a short message, but that was like 2 hours long, so not really a full Silent Hill game. But anyways, let's stick on topic now. So in the game, you play as Hinako in 1960s Japan, and you go into town to meet your friend Shu, but then the fog comes, the infamous fog. And then just stuff happens, you try to get away from the fog throughout the story, and yeah, that's kind of everything I want to say. I'm not going to spoil anything in the game in this review. But yeah, I will say one thing about this game. I mean, I have a lot of things to say about this game, but one thing I will say right now is that this is potentially, for me, the scariest a Silent Hill game has been out of the ones I played. Now, to be fair, I've only played the first game and the remake to the second game, but out of those three, this one is, in my opinion, the scariest. Now, don't get me wrong, the first one and second one are pretty close. Like, I'm not 100% sure if this is the scariest or if it's just recency bias. I mean, can you even have recency bias towards things that are scary? I don't know. And it's probably the most disturbing game out of the entire series. Again, out of the games I have played. Because there is one scene in particular that I'm thinking about that is quite disturbing. Or maybe I should just say one part of the game, because it's multiple scenes where something quite disturbing happens. If you've played the game, you probably know what I'm talking about. That was like the most disturbed I have been playing a horror game like ever. Oh, I just can't get over that part of the game. It makes it worth it because this is a horror game. You're supposed to be creeped out and maybe uncomfortable in some moments. And yeah, that's of course not the only scary part. There are other scary parts of the game, like sprinkled, not just sprinkled out, just throughout the whole game. The game is scary, it's spooky, it's creepy. I did get jump scared a couple times, which I'm happy about. And I will also say that when it comes to the combat, I was expecting something similar to the Silent Hill 2 remake, but they made some changes which I'm kind of 50-50 on. Like, with the combat here, you're a lot slower, which I do kind of like, since it makes every combat situation a lot more tense, and it can be a lot more punishing, but like not in a super bad way. I mean, it probably depends on what difficulty you're playing. I just played on the story difficulty. But one thing I also will say about the combat is that the further I got into the game, the more I was kind of tired of the combat. Because like, the combat isn't that special, and especially in boss fights. Because I will say, I don't think the boss fights are really that great in this game. And that's kind of because I don't think the combat feels that well when playing against enemies that has like a lot of health. Because like, I feel like it works well on like the regular enemies, since they don't have a lot of health, so it doesn't take that many hits. Like, I think 3, 4, or maybe 5 hits are like the golden spot for the enemies I actually enjoy fighting. But the enemies that take more hits than that are not particularly that fun. It just gets kind of tiring and you just kind of want the fight to be over. Now, I will say they did introduce some cool stuff with like the counterattack stuff. That is cool, and you have to like reserve your sanity meter because you can use it to focus to use your counterattack, and you have to be smart with using your sanity meter, which I did enjoy that. So overall, the combat is a bit 50-50 for me personally. Now, the story in this game. I feel like for me, when it comes to Silent Hill games, the story is always important in those games. Because like, Silent Hill can have some amazing stories. Like Silent Hill 2, probably one of my favorite stories in any video game. I just absolutely love that. And I will say, the story here, I think it hit the mark. I think the story had some great themes to it and a lot of just great moments, and it just messes with your mind, which I love, of course. It's a Silent Hill game. It's supposed to mess with your mind. Like, you don't always know what's real and what's not real, and some of the things can be a bit confusing. So yeah, I think the story in this game is great, honestly. I'm not gonna go into detail on the story, because I think you should experience the story by yourself, because like, it's a Silent Hill story. I think the Silent Hill games are just best if you go into them blind, and this one's no different. And I will also say, I think the characters were done really well, especially Hinako. I loved Hinako in this game. One of my favorite Silent Hill characters already. That might be recency bias. I guess we'll see in a couple months time if it still holds up. But yeah, I absolutely loved Hinako, and I did play this game in the English dub, and I thought the voice acting was phenomenal in the game. Especially Hinako's voice actress, I thought she did an amazing job. Oh, I mean, everyone did an amazing job in this game, I feel like. But you just hear so much raw emotion from Hinako throughout this game. That performance really made the game story so much better in my opinion. Cause like, that was just an amazing performance. I cannot speak on the Japanese voice actors cause I didn't play it in Japanese, I just played it in the English dub. But yeah, the voice acting in the English dub was amazing. And this game also had an amazing atmosphere, which is basically an essential thing you have to do in a Silent Hill game, because like, these games are filled with some of my favorite atmosphere in like any horror game. I love the town of Silent Hill and the fog, and yeah, this one doesn't take place in the town of Silent Hill, but I don't care. I kind of liked that they went in a different direction and had it set in Japan. And the vibes are still off the charts. Like, just going through the streets, it's just something about the vibe when going down the street, and just the eeriness. Like, the eerie music just playing and the atmosphere and everything. I just love the atmosphere of this game. And as I said, I had nothing against them not making this game take place in the town of Silent Hill. I think it's kind of nice that they changed it, because as I said multiple times in this video, I have only played 2 of the games, but I know that most of the games, if not all, take place in the town of Silent Hill. So I think it's kind of just nice that they make this game take place outside of Silent Hill and in an entirely different place and in an entirely different time period. But yeah, those were my thoughts on Silent Hill F. I honestly love this game. I think this is a worthwhile game to play, and if you like Silent Hill, I would definitely recommend checking this out. And if you just like horror games in general, I would probably recommend checking this out as well, because it had a really good story in my opinion. It is really creepy and has some pretty disturbing stuff going on. And the gameplay is like kind of just standard horror game gameplay. There's not really that much special about it. And the combat is fine. Like, there's some good about it, some bad about it. But overall, as an entire package, I think it is so worth it to play this game if you like horror games. But anyways, I want to hear from you guys. If you have played Silent Hill F, what do you think about the game? Let me know in the comments below. But I'll see you guys next time. Bye!